For our second part of section 2.7, we're going to solve these inequalities. We're going to graph on the number lines provided and write our answer in interval notation. So here I'm asking you three parts. The first thing you see is the inequality 5x minus 3 is greater than or equal to 17. We're going to solve this just like it is an equation, but it's not. So do not put an equals to in your work. Leave it as that greater than sign the entire time. But we do work it as if it was an equation. So I'm going to move the 3 first. So 5x is greater than or equal to 20. And then I'm going to divide by 5. And so x is greater than or equal to 4. Now, to write our answer properly, we have to write it in interval notation. So in order to write it in interval notation, I will graph it on this number line. I'm going to start at the number 4, which is right here, and I'm going to shade it in this direction, which is the right direction. So greater than shades right. I see that its x is greater than or equal to 4. So on the 4, I'm going to put a bracket because it does say equal to. And on the arrow, I'm going to put a parenthesis. So that's what the graph would look like. That's part 2. The third part of this one says write an interval notation. So remember, we're going to write it from left to right. My left symbol is on the 4, so it would start at 4 and it would go to the arrow, which is represented with infinity. Infinity takes parentheses, and the 4 will take a bracket. And so this 4 is greater than or equal to infinity is your final answer for that particular problem. Looking at our next one, we have x minus 4 is less than 1. To get x by itself, I'm going to move the 4. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides, and I get that x is less than 5. Let's put that on our number line. On our number line at the top of the page, I find the number 5. It is pointing in this direction, which is my left direction. Less than is left. I'm going to shade it towards the left, all the way over. Now let's talk about brackets or parentheses. I know that the infinity or negative infinity always takes parentheses, so the arrow will take parentheses. The 5 number, we had strictly less than. So less than doesn't have the bar underneath it. That means less than takes parenthesis, takes a parenthesis. Writing my answer from left to right, left is at the negative infinity, right is at the 5, and both sides take parentheses. You are welcome to draw this number line every time if you need it, but you don't have to draw the number line. So if you can work the interval notation without the number line, that is just fine. You have one major rule in this section when you're solving equations, and that is if you multiply or divide both sides of an inequality by a negative number, you must reverse the inequality sign. In other words, if you multiply or divide both sides by a negative number, you have to flip the inequality sign. Your rules for the rest of this section, your directions, say solve the inequalities, write your answer in interval notation, and you do not have to graph. If you want to graph, that's fine, but you do not have to graph. Those directions will go with you through the entire section 2.7. So let's work some problems. In our first problem, I have x minus 8 is less than or equal to 1. To get x by itself, I'm going to add 8 to both sides. So a negative 8 and a positive 8 cancel, and x is less than or equal to 9. But we also have to write that in interval notation. I'll see in this particular problem, x is less than or equal to 9. It's pointing towards the left. The other hint that I'll give you is the inequality symbol. If x is on the left, the inequality symbol always points towards infinity. Since this one is pointing towards the left, you're going to use the infinity that's on the left side, and that's negative infinity. So it's going to start with negative infinity and go to 9 with a bracket. Now, if that doesn't work for you, feel free to draw out the number line every time. There'll be sometimes you have big numbers and you can't. But this time we can actually draw it out or we can estimate it. Let's estimate that the number 9 is over here on the right on the number line. We're going to have all the numbers that are less than 9. So writing this green region from left to right, we would start at the arrow, which is on the left side, and move to the 9, which is on the right side. So it would go from negative infinity to 9. Remember, 9 will have a bracket here. Let's try our second one. 7x minus 3 is greater than or equal to 6x minus 2. The first thing we want to do is get our x's on the same side. So to get our x's on the same side, I'm going to move this 6x over. That leaves me with x minus 3 is greater than or equal to negative 2. I'm going to work on the x side now, and to work on the x side, I move the 3, so I'm going to add 3 to both sides. X is greater than or equal to 1. In interval notation, this starts at 1 and it heads to the right. So writing that in interval notation, it would be from 1 to infinity. Infinity always takes parentheses, and the 1 is going to take a bracket because it's equal to. So your final answer for this problem is 1 is greater than or equal. Your final answer for this problem is 1 to infinity.